Have you ever thought, what if we could solve one of the world's biggest problems with just a single click? Well, today we're diving into that powerful and honestly pretty seductive idea, the debt delete button. Okay, so let's just do a little thought experiment together. Forget all the complicated stuff, global finance, policy debates, all of it. Just for a second, picture a world where the fix is that simple, just pushing a button. So yeah, that's the big question, right? A single button that offers a total reset. I mean, it's so tempting, isn't it? But what really happens when someone finally pushes it? All right, first let's explore the immediate aftermath. The dream scenario, a world with a perfectly clean slate. So just picture this. There's this giant red button smack dab in the middle of a bustling city, and one person with just one finger is about to change, well, everything for everyone. The anticipation is just immense. And then, bam, it happens. Those massive symbols of debt, the huge bank towers, they just vanish. They literally crumble into pixels. And down on the ground, it's pure euphoria. People are celebrating, they're tossing their mortgage statements, their student loan bills, all those IOOs into the air like it's New Year's Eve. You can almost feel this huge collective sigh of relief, can't you? This is what everyone wanted. It's not just being out of debt, it's this sense of absolute freedom. The weight of the world just lifted in an instant. And there you have it, proof. It worked. Every ledger, every database, every single account now reads zero. So from a purely technical standpoint, the button was a total success. It feels like a flawless victory. The end of the story, right? But as all that digital dust settles, a very different picture starts to emerge. Yeah, because beyond all that celebration, there's a hidden price tag. And we're talking about immediate, unseen consequences that carry a very, very steep cost. The key word here is unaware. The crowd is so focused on their newfound freedom that they are completely blind to the collapse that's happening right behind them. So to really understand what's going on, we need this concept, systemic interconnection. Now, it sounds complicated, but think of it like a giant, complex web. See, your debt, your mortgage, is actually the bank's asset. That asset backs up your neighbor's retirement savings, which might be invested in a fund that gives a loan to the farmer who grows your food. Pull one thread, like deleting all the debt, and the entire web begins to completely unravel. And there it is, the first thread to snap. If you look past that joyous crowd, the lights in a local grocery store are going out, and the sign on the door doesn't say closed for the day. It says closed forever. You see, it's really just two sides of the same coin. The bank's disappearing? That seems great, but it stops commerce dead in its tracks. Debts being forgiven feels like a massive relief, but it leads to empty shelves. And the reason is simple. The entire system of trust that moves goods from a farm to a store has just been completely broken. And this brings us to the huge paradox of the debt delete button. The act of solving the problem is what actually triggers a total collapse of the system we all depend on to live. Let's just trace that chain reaction. First, the financial system is gone. That means no credit for the farmer to buy seeds, no loans for the trucker to buy fuel, no payment system for the grocery store to pay its suppliers. So the supply chain doesn't just slow down, it seizes up completely. The real economy, the one that puts food on our tables, just stops. And suddenly, there's this really bitter irony to the whole scene. The sounds of celebration outside are now just echoing through the empty aisles of that grocery store. The freedom from financial debt has come at the cost of access to the most basic necessities. So here's the core lesson. We often see the financial system as this huge burden, but it's also the essential plumbing that allows goods, services, and trust to flow through our society. You can't just decide to cut the pipes on one end and expect everything else to keep working. And so, after all that confetti has landed, we're left with one final, unavoidable question. Freedom from debt is a powerful dream, but a world without the systems that debt supports, a world without credit, without commerce, without trust, is a world where the shelves just stay empty. It really forces us to ask, what is the true price of starting over?